Welcome back, everybody, to this series. It is heating up quick and fast. It is 1-1 currently. Orthrus Gaming versus Vuptrox Academy. SQ1 Summer Split semifinals. Various. I'm just so excited. I can barely even talk right now. What do we learn coming from that last game? We've seen both teams with a W in their pocket. What do we think going into this third game, in a general sense?
I think this game's going to see as spicy as it's ever been. There's so much priority on this Mordekaiser now. I think both teams are going to favor it. There's also going to be the Xayah contested, because Orthrus Gaming are blue side now. They do have the first pick. If Xayah is let through, that's Zyra Khan going through unless they have a plan already for this. Kiana's getting banned. We don't even need to mention that. We know that's not getting through. But Kajak has had a stellar performance on Elise. You need someone to answer this Elise, and I feel like something like the Skarner could be an option. The Jarvan, maybe even the Gragas. You need something to actually keep up with her or match her aggression. If you can pull out one of these picks, I feel like you can do that. I don't think the SQ1 is the right answer when Kajak is just putting so much pressure on your lanes.
Yeah, we saw them leave Sejuani open in exchange for that Xayah ban, and they were completely comfortable. It looked against that one. Varte didn't even look like he was having too much of a great time on that champion, so they'll probably be leaving that one up again. Something important to note here is that they did actually play Skarner jungle the last time Orthrus and Vuptrox played. Orthrus Gaming picked up Skarner, and they actually won that game. They won it with the Skarner. It was a little back and forth, but they did pick up that W. So it's important to note there that this could be a pick that we will see going into this one, and I think jungle is now going to expand a little bit more, as so far we've seen it be relatively similar. Like you said, Kajak, same champion each game. Varte, he was gone to his comforts both times, and he's had mixed success. So something's going to mix up there, I imagine. Speaking of mix-ups, do you think that Chiana's gonna make it through the big bans? Varus, do you think Chiana's going to happen?
Not at all. There's
no
chance at all. I don't think there's any reason why you leave Kiana open. With how much pressure there was on Anivia to actually go even in that lane, it was so difficult for him to do a single thing. He's playing a mobile champion, and just all the pressure in the world is being put on him. There's no pressure needed to even be topside. Mordekaiser is just absolutely obliterating top. So just all the pressure just falls down to mid, and we've seen it come through. Kiana got fed, and Kiana did Kiana things and started whopping people around the place, started hitting people with one-shots, and making these big flashy plays.
Yeah, that just accidental, lazy double kill from that late game still burning in my mind. It's not fair to call accidental. I'm sure it just looks so casual that it's just, just kind of lean sideways and double kill the enemy bot lane. It's as easy as that. Rengar, of course, very seasoned assassin player. He's got things like the Talon. He's probably got the Zed in there. This guy could probably bring out champions with a similar style at the very least. And we have seen Anivia play the same Syndra twice now. Once, he did very well early on in the first game, held his own in that lane very well in a long-range mage matchup. Then against the Assassin, he had a much rougher time, and I believe it is Rengar staying in the mid lane for Orthrus Gaming here. So do you want to see a shake-up from Anivia? I don't think they'll be banning the Syndra. They don't seem to be prioritizing it from Orthrus, but do you think they need to change something in this mid lane? Or maybe just try and remove the powerful picks from Orthrus?
I think you'll definitely see something change in the mid lane. With Vuptrox having red side to actually counter-pick now, you don't throw that counter-pick towards top lane, I don't think. With Rengar being one of the star players on Orthrus, I feel like you have to target him. I feel like you have to either go for a counter pick or something what can actually put some more pressure down on your own side. What's actually going to match the pressure what Kajak is going to go and put in this mid lane. You need to have something to answer that. And I feel like if they pick a strong jungle mid duo, that is the answer to do this.
Exactly. You mentioned the pressure that Kajak brings in the mid lane. We have seen him there a lot so far this. Admittedly, game one, he was everywhere a lot, but in the second game, it was definitely focused around this mid lane, and when you have Rengar on your team, that is such a valuable place to put all of your eggs, and there goes the Chiana, and the Anivia, and the Xayah. These bans are just rattling out one after the other. So far, they have all made sense. We need to see if any of the others throw us off kill.
It's not really a surprise with any of these bans coming through. I don't think they have much priority to Zyra Khan or Orthrus Gaming. Especially when you're on blue side, I don't think they want to just first pick Xayah and probably hand over like extra power picks, because they could just pick away the Rakan. There's also that option, and I think they're just going to go for the safety option and just get rid of it.
Yeah, it did seem to have a good impact for them on the bot lane, taking away that Xayah. It has been the Silas taken away by Vuptrox, actually something that Hello at Zenivia has played a fair bit, so they are pinching their own pool somewhat. However, he has also been known to play the Akali, and I think like this could be something that Rengar would be prioritizing, given the way he likes to play. So we might see that one come out today, either for Vuptrox or Orthrus Gaming.
And the Akali nerf, what she got was just a small slap on the wrist. When you consider that Q has no cooldown, you can still spam it on repeat, and you're only losing about 20-ish damage. And it's still a spammable ability. You're still going to spam it, and it's going to come through with the damage each time. So I don't think the nerf was much. I feel like it could have been first pick, but they just went for SQ1 instead.
It seems like we have a little bit of a swap junglers here. Navarte does actually end up picking up the Trundle. This is a classic counter Sejuani. If you're looking for at least a good matchup against this champion, that's a solid pick to take. And now they're hovering the Kai'Sa for Chrissy as well. He did perform very solidly on this champion, I feel, again last game. Had a strong laning performance, despite not being able to extend a massive lead like last time, but then just really couldn't have enough impact later on when there was just so much going on in that game. So much pressure for him to deal with, decisions to be made, and he just wasn't able to be that massive force. But they are going to take that Kai'Sa of him again, so he is at least well positioned, I think, to make good use of this champion.
I think the thing what you could
It's happened.
Oh my god. It came through. The Sona wasn't banned. Sona Taric has come through bans. And how are Vuptrox going to be able to deal with this is the next question. What are they going to pick into this Sona Taric bot lane to actually counter it? Before that was locked in, I was going to say this is smart for Vuptrox. Picking up Kai'Sa, you could go Kai'Sa Nautilus.
That's what I would have thought.
You've got to answer Sona Taric now.
Yeah, and they have picked up the Thresh. That was banned away from the Piggy last game, so evidently very happy with. So Kai'Sa Thresh, they can still punish this bot lane potentially a lot. I remember casting a particular game of Orthrus Gaming with Fair and Fury in that bot lane with the Sona Taric, and I believe Fair went 0-6 in lane, but they still won. So, you know, Sona Taric things. Somewhere Viperoon is crying. He doesn't know why, but it's because of Sona Taric in Square 1 Champion League. So they are going to pick up this one. They've managed to bring so many target bans that whereas before the Sona was always banned, Gianna pushed it out and the Mordekaiser pushed it out. So now they're free to take it. It's the big brain, long-term drafting solutions of Orthrus Gaming that have got them this comfort pick. As now we go into the second round of bans, and it's been the Corki taken away from Rengar. That's matched up by the Azir.
And the thing is, this makes a lot of sense with their comp. This is the reason why they actually first picked Sejuani and favoured this, instead of just going to Elise again when he's been dominating on Elise. They kind of bait it out, say we're going to have Sejuani, and then Vuptrox is like, wait, what's going on? They didn't pick Elise.
Yeah.
We're going to counter pick it with Trundle. And then Orthrus is like, haha, Sona Taric. Get you baited. So,
absolutely. Well, there's the Akali ban as well, so they're not going to let Rengar just get another free, at least reasonable tier assassin on that table. Taking away both Corki and Azir, I feel like that really hurts Hello at Zenivia. He's played both of these champions a fair bit and done pretty well on both of them, so that's unfortunate he's not going to have those staples. Syndra is still available. The Anivia obviously has been taken away. The Ahri's been taken away as well. That is high up in his played list. I believe his two most playeds are Anivia, something like 450 games, and Ahri at something like 80. So really, I feel like they're forcing him onto the Syndra at this point.
Maybe they are, but there's still opportunities for Orthrus to take it. I don't think they will because of Rengar's playstyle.
He's too good. I feel like he's so comfortable dealing with it.
Right now, Aurelia's open. Aurelia Sejuani is a lethal combo because the Blaze Surge procs Sejuani stun, and you can proc it very fast. I think that is the combination you could probably target.
Ooh.
There's also Aatrox, which is a flex pick, which is being hovered. So there's them two on the table, and I think both of them are very good picks here. Especially when you've got a Sona Taric what can sustain you in fights and keep an Aurelia and an Aatrox alive even longer. I still think Aurelia is a good pick for them if they pick it here.
Yeah, when you've got the backup of Fair and Fury, the boost you into that team fight, keep you topped up, and set you up with the ultimates, the crescendo from Sona, and the ultimates from Taric as well. The survivability just through the roof at that point. I feel like they can just take this full fight in comp, but it's actually the Vladimir that this gets picked up. Vuptrox banned it away last game. We hadn't seen it up to this point, but Rengar now gets another champion that can be very high mobility, very kill your backline in 1.5 seconds champion. So we'll need to see how he's able to pilot this one. And in theory, they could still swap them. They could still put Aatrox mid and Vlad top.
Yeah, they can still go to either lane. And keeping a Vladimir alive longer, keeping Aatrox alive longer, it's just such a scary thought having these champions which scale so well and demand so much presence to come through for them. I really dislike the Syndra pick here. I feel like there's a lot more stronger picks you probably could have picked, and when you're saving a counter pick for the mid lane, and it's just falling back to the same Syndra, I don't feel like that's what you've been after. I don't feel that's what you've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's just more of the same, and we'll need to see if Hello It's Anivia can actually turn it up a notch and try and get more value out of this one. Admittedly, his lane isn't going to be as bad as against the Kiana. He's not going to have to fear for his life from level 3 onwards. But, you know, from level 6 onwards, and if Kaijak's showing up mid as much as he is before, you gotta kind of start fearing that one again, as he currently still has the Ignite selected as well. Not the TP, not a barrier or a cleanse or anything like that. He was usually taking cleanse before, but I feel like this Vlad is now making him think, oh, I need the healing reduction, I'm gonna go Ignite. And if Kaijak starts coming back mid again, this could spell trouble for him.
It could spell trouble, and Rengar might even just channel his inner pulse and just end up solo killing Anivia at this point. We've seen what people have done in this league on Vladimir and just how much presence they can demand. Can he do it on this Vladimir? We'll see when we get into game. And I feel like Kajak isn't going to slow up on pressure despite being on Sejuani. She still has good dueling power, and if Vladimir gets lane priority, it's going to be even harder.
I'm actually having a bit of a deja vu here, as I believe it was playing Aatrox in the game where I casted, where Fair went 0-6 and still won. So at some point, they just hit the stage where Sona Tarek happens, and they just boosted up to Black Eater, and he went in a 1v5. So admittedly, Aatrox has changed a fair bit since then, but at the end of the day, the Darkened Blade is still going to wreak havoc through the enemy team if Black Eater has a lane even half as good as he did this time. If we look at that specifically right now, going from Black Eater into Endorser, both times Black Eater has been the victor out of hand, completely in that top lane. First it was with the Pantheon, then with the Mordekaiser, now he's got the Aatrox. How do you think this matchup's going to play out?
I don't think it's going to change at all. I think it's going to go the same way. And with Savaki actually demanded such respect in that lane, him being on a lane bully again is just scary. Him being able to just say, this is my lane, back up, lose CS, I'm going to bully you. Him being on a bully champion just fits him so well. Aatrox did get another slap on the wrist with his HP being lowered. Riot seem to like this small slap on the wrist to champions, which are going to do nothing to them. Aatrox is still very strong.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Does have that TP, and Rengar does have Ignite in the mid lane, so it's actually Ignite for both mid laners here. Rengar, that doesn't surprise me with, that's just his intent as a player, and I think it might come back to punish Anivia. Apart from that, it is TPs on all 80 carries, obviously the heal coming through on Tarek as well, just to make that lane combination as annoying as possible, but Lepiggy has also taken the Ignite too. I think that this bot lane, they do have the potential to actually dominate Fair and Fury on Sona and Tarek. It's not a lane that's designed to win early. They've got good pick from the Thresh, great follow-up with Chrissy, and so far we have seen the bot lane from Vuptrox hold their own very well in lane. So they could manage to eke out a possibly quite significant lead, and that might be one of the ways that Vuptrox can actually get into this mid-game in a good position.
And the thing to note, you are on red side if you're Vuptrox, and I do like red side overall just better on this current patch, because your jungler gets to start top side. He starts top side, he starts on his red buff, kind of standard. Both junglers like to start red buff each, and he's able to actually just path down towards his bot lane. His bot lane is the Sona Tarek, Fresh lands a hook, and Varte's there, secured kills. That's what I want to see. I want to see them bring the aggression to Orthrus and constantly pressure them down.
Exactly, the pillar can be a potent follow-up to that death sentence from Thresh if Varte can be in the right position at the right time. We are going into our quick delay here. A spectator delay will be on the Rift as soon as for you guys. So let's look at them generally. We've talked through some champion picks, talked through some matchups. Who do you think has taken this draft? I want to predict that the answer is Orthrus Gaming. Am I right?
Yeah, I'd definitely say Orthrus Gaming. Especially when you're Vuptrox and you've got the counter pick. I don't think Syndra's the option. I feel like you've got so much on the table. taking Syndra, I feel like it's just something they've overlooked. I feel like there's more they could have had hidden or more in the wheelhouse they had. We have seen Toxic play stuff like Pike mid. That might have even worked if they just wanted to be hyper aggressive and take the fight to them. I feel like there's just a lot more on the table they could have done, and Orthrus just went for something more standard, their playstyle, and saying, fighters in our playstyle, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Hello Anivia's stats, his OP.GG, he's got the Anivia in there and the Ari, both of which were banned. He's got Corki, that was banned. Anivia, that was banned. And then you've got the Syndra, and maybe, I think the Cassiopeia was also relatively prevalent, but at the end of the day, not a huge difference in terms of how the lane is going to go. I feel when you're going up against a player like Rengar, it could help you survive a little bit more, perhaps, but he feels like he's being very hindered, partially by his own team banning things like Corki, when this is something that he could maybe fall back on as a really reliant mid laner. And
that's a pick you mentioned in there, which would have actually been perfect in this draft. Cassiopeia would literally slot into Vuptrox's game in their roster so well. It would give them lane pressure over Vlad. It would also give them more pressure over Sonateric in the bot lane. It would deny them a lot more engage with the miasma going down.
Ooh.
You have to invade.
Hold up.
That position.
Hold that thought. This is exactly how the last game started. It was fair getting caught it out. He is actually going to flash away at this time. I'm now having major scale deja vu right here. Last time it was fair getting caught out in the bot side who didn't even flash and died. He has at least learned to press the D key and is going to walk away, at least with his life. But that flash being gone, this could spell real big trouble for them early on.
It's not quite the D key. I want to say it's F for flash. Hitting you with a controversial one, Twitch chat is going to go insane. And this falls back to what I mentioned. Vuptrox starting red side. They're going to start red buff. There's no flash on fair. He is prime target now. There should be so much pressure going down to his bot lane. If the side of Vuptrox can set up this wave good enough, they can just literally get 3 kills on this bot lane on repeat.
So scary right there. That flash doesn't come out. You've got to imagine the death sentence lands and Fair goes to his early grave, but he is going to survive. They do have a ward there in that bottom try, but I believe it will have run out by the time Varte arrives if he's doing a standard jungle path, including camps and buffs. So it probably won't actually be able to help them vision. They'd have to refresh it somehow to try and get away from that potential Trundle pressure. As Rengar is using his old Rengar self. He's getting up very close in Anivia's face, not scared about the Qs at all, as this is the pressure we're seeing from Piggy. He's walking up nice and far, threatening that death sentence or that the E at any one point.
So, a thing I want to talk about. This is new to meta and what people do on these weird champions now. Akali, Vladimir, even Mordekaiser start Doran's Ring now, and you think, wait, they don't need mana regen, what the hell are they doing? They start to take this just for the HP and the raw AP it gives. It's just a lot more prevalent, and having a Doran's Blade, especially when they're already good at sustaining in lane really well, all 3 of them champions can sustain really well. And you'll see them start Doran's Ring now to just have that bit extra kick power in the early game.
Yeah, it seems to be serving Rengar relatively well, really even in their trades so far in CS as well. Someone that's not even in CS, this bot lane, the Sonateric, is being adequately pressured early on. They are a good 5 CS down early on, under their own towers. Varte is now rotating over though. There's been no replacement ward and on anywhere in the bottom side jungle. So Varte, once he's maybe picked up this scuttle, could have his pick of the litter as to where he wants to go and maybe try and make something happen early on.
Look at this mid lane. Ooh. See it repeating again from game 1 and 2.
Kajak's coming in and Olivia is going to walk away actually very no. And now Varte's coming, but the hook goes wide and Piggy takes a cue for his trouble. Both sides actually. OG taking the win in that bot lane from the pressure, and Vuptrox taking the win mid lane from pressure.
I think you mean it the other way around slightly?
In spite of pressure would be the correct words, I guess.
Yeah, and we see the same return from Kajak. He just wants to constantly keep this pressure on this mid lane. Do have no more mana left on Anivia, so there's not much else she can do in the lane. Vlad's just going to sustain back up. Kajak, no matter what champion he's on, he pressures his mid lane. If you're not a mobile champion, you're getting pressured, and we see it again and again and again. Yeah,
at least Hello Anivia was able to hold on to the flash that mana is depleted, forcing a recall there. Varte now wants to get up in Kaijak's face. He knows he's got this decent matchup. The birds as well, getting Kaijak a little low. Back to a jungle, he's getting chunked down to half. Varte protecting the birds at all costs, and is going to at least walk away with his own jungle camp, if nothing else. A stun actually lands onto the Piggy, a counter death sentence. The passive's going to proc for Kai'Sa. They are pumping out a lot of damage. Fury running back to the tower, and Ignite went down a little early, perhaps for the Piggy, and now just that summoner traded.
Yeah, just a trade on bot lane. They tried to secure a little bit more from it, but wasn't able to. Resona just speeding up Taric to safety. Not a lot more could happen after that, and it's just Sona Taric. Such a fun lane.
It's just so cool and fun. It's they have gone down CS, it must be said, and we've seen the early Executioners calling for Chrissy. It's gone back, bought the Executioners, TP's back in. Okay, now we're ready to play the game. Now we're ready to have a lane. Maybe see if we can make something happen. And someone who's looking to make something happen is Varte in this top lane, but Kaijak's waiting in the wings already. So Black Eater's taken the advantage so far, but the health favors Vuptrox. They're flashing in to try and commit to this one. So Black Eater gets a nice chain down and is stacking up that Q. Does get them away though. Nothing more to be gained from OG. A little bit of a scuffle, but not really advantage.
I'm honestly slightly confused what happened there, because I feel like Urgot dashed away to safety, whereas if he dashed towards them, they could have took that fight. With Aatrox having cooldowns, I feel like there's just such a missed opportunity. So we see it come in. We see Varte come in for the gank. Sejuani's already using her cooldowns onto Varte. We see the flash come through. That's all Aatrox cooldowns gone. And if you're dashing forward, you grab Sejuani there, she is dead. I feel like just such a missed opportunity, and it was just them being scared for no reason.
Yeah, Souvlaki seems to have left quite the impression on Vuptrox's top lane so far. They do not want to take any fights they don't want to. We see the second Executioner's calling of the game coming through at a tidy 6 minutes on the TP back to lane from Endorser. So now he is CS down, but this might help him at least deal with Souvlaki Eater's innate healing. Maybe help them take some more pressure into this line.
I think you're going to see them all across the board. You're going to see Bramble Vest, you're going to see Executioner's Calling, and you're going to see Morello come through. You're going to see all these items come through just to deny the healing. There is so much healing on the side of Orthrus Gaming with 4 champions who just have so much of it.
Once again, Kaijak and Varte in the same area of the woods. Getting caught up here, but this is currently taking the turns available. Gonna get that Trundle out of dodge. But what looked like a decent fight for Varte just doesn't have the support as his team's cut behind the jungle wall. A hook actually lands onto the fair Sona. Is going to walk away though, nothing too much lost. Too many cooldowns used already, I guess. And though the mana is low for Sona, once again, another little scuffle, but not really any advantage gained either way.
You can see Orthrus Gaming pushed in that lane perfectly, so they couldn't actually follow up. Bot lane couldn't actually react to Varte's. He actually had such a great position to actually play that. He had the level lead on Sejuani. He was just in the right place, right time. But the bot lane being pushed in is the difference between that play, but going really well.
The flashing from Rengar! He's just stopped the Ignite and the ultimate! It's gonna do it! It's gonna do it! Rengar, the mathematician, knows his numbers back, forwards, and sideways, instantly flashes in to take a clean kill on Hulot Sanivia. Didn't even have time to flash away. Nothing to be done there. Rengar, this guy's insane.
I'd like to say I called it from jump select. I said this was going to happen.
You did.
I said he's going to channel his inner pulsing and get a solo kill onto the enemy laner. And that's exactly what he did. And just like I said, I feel like it was just a waste of a counter pick. Picking Syndra again. It just falls back to that every time because it's just, what if you had a Cassio? What if this happened? It's like...
Hijack has finally found a lane where Varte is in it as well. Chrissy is going to get away though with a nice lance and Piggy. Flash has to be burnt, but no kills to be secured in the spotlight.
Nothing else to come in off that, just a flash. Right place, right time for Sejuani. Really good aggression still, again. Doesn't matter what champion this guy is on, he shows constant aggression.
Yeah, Souvlaki here as well with the aggression going onto Endorser once again. Not a great CS lead built up. Endorser definitely comfortable so far this game, but now Souvlaki, he knows he's got the advantage moving up here. He's pushing him down lower and lower, right behind that tower. So Aatrox could turn into a very dangerous threat going into this mid game if this keeps up.
I also feel like picking Urgot again was also another mistake by them, because I feel like because you're blind picking, There's more options on the table. You can blind pick, which are a lot safer and not going to be bullied as hard. I feel like picking Urgot again, sure, it might be more of one of his safety picks, but I'm not sure if that was the right decision. And we just see Sovaki take control of the lane again, doing Sovaki things and just saying, this lane's mine, back off.
Yeah, I mean, so far, if we look at the chart of this series and start to our current position here in Game 3, Vuptrox, they started out pretty good with the same kind of team comp, and then Orthrus Gaming started to fight back and push them away, and then Vuptrox managed to clutch it out. I feel like largely due to a better team comp that scales better, and they just managed to get a nice, good fight. Fair also had a couple of missed brain cell moments, but overall, Vuptrox really just kind of had to push back against Orthrus to win that game. Then you go into Game 2, Orthrus, they switched their draft up pretty significantly in terms of how their champions scale and how they're going to play the game. And then suddenly, Vuptrox Gaming, they just kind of get run over. They just don't have the option to play the same way, and they're getting punished for picking these same champions. And then Game 3 rolls around. Instead of switching it up for Vuptrox, they stay the same format. They pick the Kai'Sa again, they pick an engaged CCH support again. As you say, the Urgot again, the Syndra again. So many of these repeated style champions that are now Orthrus Gaming, they're every game they come back and look like they've learned more and applying more, and they're just better at playing around them.
The thing what scares me the most as well, when you look at Vuptrox game inside, what engage do they have? They have next to none. Their engage is so lackluster, and it's actually so scary for them to actually be able to do anything, because they just don't have much engage at all. They only have pick potential right about now. And when you look at the side of OG, they have so much good engage to actually pull fights off compared to Vuptrox.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the Flash Sona ult, they've got the Hijack ultimate, they've got Rengar just running in and pressing Flash and R. That's an engage of sorts, and that's probably going to just wipe someone off the face of the earth as it comes to this late game. Sublaki Eater chunking down the health of Endoforcer. Pop World Eater, he is just going all the way with this one. Endorser has to run back to tower. Flash has been used, and a nice flash in from Sublaki Eater to confirm that kill. Finally takes himself a solid lead in this top lane off the back of a clean 1v1.
And he has the Black Cleaver coming through there as well.
Perfect.
So he's had such a big power spike with 20% CDR, being able to melt whatever armor Sovaki and also builds. It's just going to be even worse for him now. This matchup is just going to go even harder and harder. Sovaki's just going to constantly push him in and pressure his lead. Maybe even look for a TP across the map to actually pressure maybe bot lane or mid.
We could be seeing a repeat of last game now. The Piggy is moving up that river to maybe try and support Anivia, and Barte is in the area but looks for a recall. Probably not going to see anything here, nothing too explosive going to be going down. Overall, it looks like the vision, at least, you can say that OG, or Vuptrox I should say, have secured better vision around this bot side, which they were struggling with before, as Varte is looking to take a 1v1 in this top lane, but Sublaki Eater knows he does not have backup yet. He is chunking him down incredibly low. The subjugate comes down and Varte is forced to let him walk away. Endorser not there fast enough to actually help that one out, and ultimately it's just a loss of health for Varte.
And Sovaki knows he's got nothing to be scared of. Even if Urgot's arriving, Urgot does not have ultimate. With him not having the fear beyond death, what pressure is there to actually stop you going aggressive here?
Oh, another fight comes down. Fear Beyond Death is on board. He has to walk back to his base, trying to survive. Here it comes, and now he goes, and they walk away with a sliver each. Neither of them are able to do it. Sublaki are flash in. Hang on a second. Rengar wants to take it down, and Nivea, once again, just nothing he can do under his own tower. Just gets completely drained of blood and destroyed. Vladimir takes a second solo kill in this mid lane, while top lane, Sublaki Eater does go down, finally.
You see the aggression coming out again from Rengar. The empowered Q coming through, doing so much damage, just knowing that he can one-shot Syndra at this point. It's just so scary to even watch. And we do actually get Aatrox falling down in that top lane too.
Yeah, finally, with a little bit over aggression, didn't have the ultimate on deck, and Endorser didn't have to use his early on, so they did have that advantage. Kajak actually gets a nice ultimate straight onto Chrissy, but a perfect stopwatch avoids that crescendo, and now Kajak is on the wrong side of town. Black Eater's come to support though. Chrissy's getting chunked down, the Piggy as well. He's getting caught in the tower, he can't click the lantern, and Black Eater, he is going to go down to that tower. Endorser picks up a return kill, a flash away from there, keeps himself safe. And now that is going to be it. It's a 2-for-1, I believe, in the favor of Vuptrox on the back of that dive.
we've got a replay coming through. We've got both TPs coming through, and we talked about wanting to get that TP from Aatrox down here. This is the right idea, but the turret call was used defensively to save Sejuani, and it didn't save her after all. She died, and even Aatrox falls down here, trading over some of that gold back to Endorser, actually helping him in that top lane now.
Yeah, some more gold swinging back potentially for Vuptrox. We have finally seen Barte pick up Rift Herald. Normally Kajak has complete control over this objective, but that time, off the back of that massive scrappy bot lane fight, Barte picked up that Rift Herald to get some nice plate gold in that mid lane. So that's going to be a nice little swing for them, and Barte may be catching wise onto Kajak's normal strategies here.
Yeah, and he's trying to keep up with Kajak as much as possible. And you can see what he's doing. He's trying to follow him wherever he goes. And that's the right decision to make. He just needs to be there at the right time for when Kajak actually pulls the trigger and actually sort of defend his team when he can.
Exactly, and OG, despite the fact that they lost that Rift Herald, they did pick up the Dragon earlier on, and they used to have the gold lead to Black Eater wants to take another Orthrus, but the entire Vuptrox squad bar Anivia comes in to see him off. Hijack's come around the corner, does have the ultimate not available, I should say, but Chris is getting chunked very low, has to walk away with just a sliver, dancing with death at that point. So Black Eater, one extra longsword in his inventory, and that would have been a trade kill.
It would have been a trade kill, but it wasn't enough. He actually gets shut down here, and he's died twice consecutively, very fast. You got wonder.
Barte, he just got 1v1'd. He's got 1v1'd. His teammate left him alone, and then Kajak just kind of ran up and pressed all of his buttons sequence off cooldown, and he died. So I guess goodbye, Barte. That's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, and just so much punishing coming across the map. Vuptrox get punished, then OG gets punished, then each way, both sides are just punishing every mistake they are making. It is one tower apiece, and the gold is still close. There's going to be a second tower dropping right now. You gotta wonder, Vuptrox way back into this game, they really need to be a little bit more proactive and stop being greedy with some of their plays. Because recalling like that, what Varte did, is so greedy and he gets punished for it.
Exactly, and you know that OG are going to be happy to jump in and take that advantage as soon as it is offered to them. Luckily, Anivia did get that tower in mid lane, so Rengar's punished finally. But if you just look at this guy's scoreline, he's got super strong CS, 155 in the bank right there, plus 2-0 and 0. He's going well towards that Spellbinder. You've got to imagine that's going to come in soon. And I feel like Rengar might be the tipping point here. Last game it was Sublaki Eater, but Rengar had an amazing performance on that Chiana, and I think he's teeing himself up for another great one on the Vlad.
And right now, he's not even died once. He's keeping himself clean as possible. He has 30% CDR as well. He might even have 40 with runes. He is a very scary Vladimir right about now. Sure, you get a dragon on the side of Vuptrox, but I don't think you care if you're that much on the side of Orthrus. Right now, you've probably got item power spikes coming through. You have a second needlessly large rod coming through for Vladimir.
Oh, he's going to skip the Spellbinder straight for the Rabadons, I guess. Just knows he's ahead and wants to get that pure damage. And you've got to imagine that even, you know, Lapiggy, Chrissy, Anivia, potentially even Barte, to some extent, they're just going to get one-shot by this Vlad if he gets that Rabadons on deck before long.
And when he actually gets to that point, it is very scary. That's when Vladimir is going to flash, jump in, get that one-shot onto your backline, what we talked about. And it's just so scary to actually even think about that Vladimir is just going to come and kill your entire team before you can do anything about it.
Yeah, that's the power that Vlad has over the game, especially in this league. Such a strong force that we have seen so far. And now OG, we're seeing them group up again. This is what got them back into the game in game one, is going as that four-man unit, grouping up, pressuring down towers, looking for kills, and that has extended their gold lead just a little bit more as they get the last outer tower out. This is now going to fully unleash Rengar. It's going to fully unleash the bot lane as well. They're just going to go wherever the fight's going to happen. So this could get a little bit scrappy very quickly now that they don't have any normal lane assignment, besides Sublaki Eater just pressuring away that top lane.
And with all the outer towers dropped right about now, it just makes it even harder for Vuptrox to claim back any vision, because there's just so much pressure going to go through from Orthrus right about now. And all they need to do is just establish vision, and when they do, it's going to be so hard for Vuptrox to take anything back at all without having to face check into dark areas.
Rengar was actually completely uncontested in that bot lane, as you can see on the minimap there. There were no teams ready. could have got some more damage on that mid lane tower. He is just so scary as well. I mean, do you think he needs to be backing off at this point, or does he just wait for someone to show up and press R and kill them?
I don't even think you need to back off at this point. It's just so scary at this point that...
Oh, has he got the money for it? He backed. Does he have the money for evidence?
This is the question.
Well,
Does he have Rabadons?
I'm terrified. I'm sweating for Vuptrox right now. If that appears... Okay, it's fine. He's not got it. Oh, wait, no, he has.
Yeah,
oh,
he
no. Oh, no.
He spoke
That's
too
gonna be a
soon.
good one. Yeah, there's no stopwatch for Anivia right now. There's none for Chrissy. I think, at this point, OG, they could just press the fight button.
They definitely can, and the way Rengar has played both games he's picked up Sweeper. And this is what I like from a lot of mid laners, especially ones where if you face check, you're dead. And I like this. I like that he's done this both games, and he's used it very well to actually find flanks, find ways to come behind teams without them even knowing he's there.
Look at them grouping up here. They want this fight. It is a 5-man force against them, though. So Black Eater has the TP ready, but he's not in the exact area, just getting that top lane pushed up. And it looks like OG are aware of that. They don't want to force too hard. They know they've got this wave pushing in top lane. They just want to get this pressure. But at this point, this is so dicey. They're clearly just eyeing each other up, looking for a chance. The Piggy's thrown a hook out. He's only got hijack, though. That's not much of an acceptance. Nivea throws out that force of power, force of will. Oh, Scatter the Weak, I should say. Doesn't manage to land a stun. It's getting pretty dicey. The palms are getting sweatier, Varus.
They definitely are, and the thing is, even if you're 5 and you engage onto this Sona Taric team, what can you do? If you don't catch Sona, you catch Taric. Okay, you catch Taric, he's not going to die very fast.
There's a... Oh, speaking of dying very fast, that's a triple crescendo in the lane! Chrissy dying the... There goes the Tarakel, and suddenly, just as quick as you like, everyone is dead. Varte pushed back into his jungle, Enforcer has to leave, and I mean, I guess they found the fight button, and it literally takes half a second to push, and Rengar is still pushing Anivia off this turret. What an explosive fight.
And Fair didn't even flash. That's the main point of this. He didn't even flash, and he got a triple man crescendo. Soon as Endorser went towards that top lane, he said, alright, now we fight. Endorser's not here, this is free. They take it, they take the tower, and they're backing off for their troubles.
That's just... It was all over in a heartbeat. They get the fight, get the turret, get half the jungle, and just walk away, just like that. And now they've got a 5k gold lead with Baron on board. Dragon coming up before too long as well. It's only an ocean, so not hugely exciting for them. But I think Baron, this is where it's going to happen. We've known Hijack loves to play around this Baron. They're really good at keeping their vision strong around this objective, and they've demonstrated they've got a proof of concept here now. If you go in with Vlad and you press R, Chrissy dies and can't do anything about it. So, you know, maybe just do that again at Baron, see if it works.
And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. You can see them just going, clearing out whatever vision they've put down now. And the Piggy must be frustrated. Every bit of vision he's established in each game has been removed instantly.
There's a fight going on bot lane with Rengar. He's actually getting 1v2'd, and they have managed to shut him down. He got both of them quite low after popping the ultimate and the ignite, but wasn't actually enough. Fury now coming through to save Stu Black Eater. This is another potential carry, but he's going very low himself. He's getting chunked out, and Endorser is now actually winning this one, as you said. Stu Black Eater, the Subjugate, is going to slowly eat away at his health and leave him dead as well. It's happened. The turn seems to have happened. Looks like Endorser is now able to actually win this 1v1. Probably, I guess, off the back of this Executioner's calling.
That definitely be one of the key factors about them actually dying there, applying their Executioner's calling to both members, and they're actually looking for the Baron. We see a TP, we see how the play started. They found Vladimir on his own completely. They're able to actually get onto him without Vladimir being able to stay in. Vlad doesn't have Zhonya's. If he had Zhonya's, that would have been a difference.
And they get the stun off, and before the heal actually goes through, he's already being pulled in by Fear Beyond Death. It's so close, but still manages to bring him in. That's so tight. As well, Bear has walked up and been chunked, and then the actual Baron has gone down, and Kajak was actually contesting, has gone over the wall. Chrissy trying to fight this one out. This is actually a massive swing in Vuptrox's favor now.
He needs to smite anyway. Either junglers seem to like smiting these objectives, and it was actually Chrissy what picked up the Baron for his team. They're able to actually get another pick off it. They get 2 free kills for their side, and actually able to swing some of this gold back in their favor. There's only a 1.7 gold lead now for Orthrus Gaming, and they just have to claw back at whatever they can get. They're just trying to take this Ocean Drag, Varte is around, but I don't think anything's going to come off this. I think you just concede this. You have the Baron. They're actually looking to see if they can fight this.
They tried to pick it up, but the TPs are coming. Kajak nowhere to be seen. There is still a 5v4 for the time being. Nice and grouped up for Vuptrox. The Hemo play comes down. A nice stun as well. Here comes the Tara Cult with the Cosmic Radius to keep him alive. And Vuptrox are just going to say, nope, we are done with this one. Lantern themselves out. They lose the Dragon, but they do keep that Baron. Don't lose any buffs.
And it's actually important when they backed up when they did. You've seen 2 ultimates were blown by the sign of Orthrus Gaming. The Hemoplague and the Taric ult was blown. Those are 2 key ultimates for the side of Orthrus. And it makes you more actually vulnerable to be dove or actually picked off.
Ooh, a stun into hook combo onto the Vlad. He gets chunked very low. The Urgot ultimates come down, but the Zone keeps him alive. Is it going to run out? He is going to have to back off though. Now a stun comes onto Kajak. The pressure is very much from Vuptrox here. They're going to shove this tower down. They're using this Baron to great effect. See Black Eater, he's away off in the bot lane. He's on a different continent. Nothing that he can do really at this point. He's calling now. Here come the stuns. Here come the hooks. They're throwing out things. They're trying to get more advantage here. But it is a 5v5. And looks like once again, Vuptrox, they're going to pump the brakes. They're going to keep the restraint. And they're going to walk away. It is assuming OG let them.
They're not leaving yet. The Fnatic Death Rush.
Well, the stun onto Fury. He's going to get locked up, but now a nice knockup from targets. Kajak gets nice onto Lapigi, I believe it was. He was getting chunked down somewhat. A nice stun into hook combo. Both teams are getting chunked down, but here comes the Vladimir. Here comes that Hemo Plague. It's going to be ripping through them. It's going to pop. It's going to pop. There it goes. There it goes. The kills. But now Chrissy, he's still alive. He is chunking out that DPS. Black Eater's low. They're all so low. Vlad's got that empowered Q, but Black Eater trades in that kill, and now it's Endorser with the fight on his back. The Fear Beyond Death misses, and Nivea following in the back. Who even won that fight, Varus? I don't even know.
That's a 3-for-3. What looked in such a dangerous fight.
Oh, hang on a second. Looks like OG won it because Endorser walked into a brush and may have killed himself. He's actually going to be down. Shut down to Rengar. I now know who won it. Who is OG?
When it starts to look good for Endorser and he doesn't make the same mistakes he did in game 1 or 2, he proves me wrong and does it again.
Straight to his head.
See, the concept here was so well done by them. The Death Rush looked good until they get caught up in the Aatrox CC. Start backing off, looks good again. They're kiting back really, really well until Vladimir gets towards his fight. When you start seeing Vladimir to come through, here's where you have to be scared. Big Hemo Plague coming through, actually delaying so much time for his team. So Sono can actually sustain the Aatrox and Sejuani here. See how split off they got. Chrissy had a good position to start free firing, but it wasn't enough. You see how split they still are. They don't have a key target to actually focus. Aatrox flash kills Chrissy, and then just an overchase for no reason. There's nothing coming up here. There's no Baron coming up yet. I don't understand why you're chasing that deep when the fight went 3-for-3 and actually went ideally how you wanted it for Vuptrox, because you actually gained some gold back. You got a small minor victory in actually going even in that team fight where it looked so bad for you. I think you take the even fight and just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's another minor misstep for Endorser there, getting a little bit too excited, though he has been having a much better game, as you said. 5-2-4 right now. And he got very close to taking out Rengar and got Kajak pretty low as well. It was a 1v2 that wasn't out of the realms of possibility for him to win. And if he keeps developing in this way, this Urgot could be a much bigger threat than it was last game as Lapigi. He's coming in with those ability boots. The Death Sentence not going to land. No one wants a part of that one, as both of their carries for OG are splitting in the side lanes. But now, Vuptrox, they can see this. They're going to push up this mid lane. They don't have a Baron buff though. I think this depends on them getting a hook, or maybe someone's going to have to recall.
And they're just pressuring the stand. They know Vladimir's still in top lane. They see him still on that tower. They're able to actually get a free inhibitor and probably just back off here.
That's a much more major misstep there, giving away that inhibitor. The threat of Vlad is so strong, but when he's just up in the top lane, now they're looking to cancel the recalls. They're going to go for the trade, I guess. They've got vision. They can walk up to push them out, but they've got to play this so carefully. If they get caught up in a CC chain, this could go very, very badly for them. Vlad's taken out that top lane tower, I believe, almost. He does get it down, and now here comes the fight. Vuptrox going in for 4v5. The Sejuani ult goes wide, but the crescendo landed only onto Thresh. These are not good use of the ultimates. Chrissy's going in now. He is going to start raining down at the Cathy Rainbow. See Black D here with huge knockups. He is now the front line of this fight with the World Eater. He is pushed them away. Vuptrox, what looked like another great start to the fight, ends up turning sour as Vlad is still pushing top lane. He is on the Nexus towers right now. He doesn't have a minion wave. Surely he has to back off at this point, but he has gotten so much extra pressure, evened out that inhib, and this is, I feel, as good as it could have gone for OG, but fair. He's actually walked into a brush, and now he's got to flash away. You can see in the bottom left of your screen, Kaijak's now going on to try and kill someone in that backline there. He is onto Chrissy, who's got that overpowered to walk away. He's dodging out the Qs. He's firing off his own Qs. He gets him solo, but it's not enough. Rengar now is under the tower. Chemo plaguing Anivia on the main side of your screen. I can't tell what's going on here. There's fights everywhere on the map, Varus. Rengar actually kills Anivia. They've lost Varti in the bot lane, and now they've finally managed to actually destroy Vuptrox. And now they're going to walk down.
That can be the game.
And win, I think.
Through. It should be the game here. The death timers are too long. There's only Fresh alive. They can't actually do much. I think this is game.
That's it. That was, I can't keep track of this, Ferris. My mind, I can't look at the two screens at once. So much going on there. OG somehow clawed their way through it. Rengar just in the base, 1v1ing 2 towers and a Syndra at the same time. What a... it was a mess. I don't think I can use a more positive word for it than that. It was a mess.
Definitely was the mess. The idea from Vuptrox was actually great. I actually liked the idea from Vuptrox, but it was a little too early execution. When the Fresh threw out his hook, he could have waited a bit longer to fool them that they might have base. If he fooled them with that, they could have actually got... If they get 1 or 2 picks, Vuptrox in the game. That's the idea there. And that's why they went for the Death Rush again, because it worked before. But instead, they walk into Sovaki. Sovaki gets so many free knockups and just says, what are you going to do about it? They chase them down. Vladimir's still in the top side. They know full well Vladimir beats Syndra. And Syndra's the one answering. And it's...
Take us through this because I had no idea what was going on.
So we see the chase. They're chasing to stop all the recalls, and they know they can. Syndra's on her way back now. Still a split fight, that's why it looks bad. Fair is caught out again. Sejuani comes over. Aatrox is winning that fight on the bot side. Fair's actually getting away from his life right now. We still see the fight going on. Vladimir is still pressuring the base. Chrissy is being absolutely destroyed by Sejuani. And they're just being collapsed. They're just buying time to sustain. They're sustaining all the fight damage they can. And they win the fight off just sustaining it slowly.
Fair's back at full health by this point. He goes down to nothing. And flash up to keep him alive. Ends up the highest health member of his own team after about 10 seconds. And meanwhile, Rengar is just doing Rengar things in this top lane, taking out Syndra under her own tower. I think if they just stuck with Chrissy, they could have won that. Because Chrissy almost took out Kajak through excellent kiting, but there's only so much you can do. Once again, it's another solid performance by the AD carry for Vuptrox Academy, but there just wasn't enough support there. And I think it ends up losing them the fight and potentially the game.
I think your shining light for Vuptrox is trying to defend Chrissy as much as possible. If you can protect him in team fights, he can carry. And we've seen that from game 1. The gamble on the Death Rush was right, but too early execution leads to them actually losing that fight. And just the over-aggression for them wanting to win that fight and end the game just was a bit too much. And because of that, they get punished for it.
So that was game 3, everybody. Gaming Vuptrox Academy. I am shattered already just from watching it, let alone casting it. Orthrus Gaming, they do pull out the victory, but Vuptrox, they were fighting back again. They were not rolling over like game 1. Another close back and forth battle. We will be back after another short break for game 4 to see if Vuptrox Academy, if they can finally overturn these 2 games of Orthrus Gaming, get themselves up to even it up for 2-2, or if Orthrus Gaming are going to take that 3-1, make this momentum all the way through to the finals. We will see you shortly.